Hi, everybody. This is David Allen Miller in my secret hideaway up in the Maine woods, talking with my good friend Andre Myers about his beautiful new piece. It is an anthem. Andre, tell us a little bit about it. Great to see you.
Great to see you too, David. How are you in your secret hideaway? May I ask? I'm just curious.
Well, I literally got here an hour ago, so I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I
All right.
got here, I fell asleep, and now I feel great.
All right.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Well,
We're
I'll do
just
my best.
sneaking away.
I'll do
So
my
we're
best.
just sneaking away for a last week of summer.
Nice.
So
I
yeah.
totally understand. Last little respite. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about Pulp Anthem Reflected Glory. Pulp Anthem Reflected Glory is a nurse's anthem. I wrote it during the latter half of May of this year in response to just in response to the heroic work that nurses are doing. And so often it's the case that these professionals are in the shadows. They don't want to be heroes. They want to go home to their families. And at the time, and still now, unfortunately, they are working under really challenging circumstances. And so I just wanted to write a piece to kind of let them know that, you know, we want to have their backs. We want to do right by our medical professionals. So that's kind of that's the aim of the work. The poem Reflected Glory was written in 1917 by Margaret Helen Florine, RN. She was a nurse in San Francisco. Not much is known about her. I don't know that much about her myself. When I got the call from you, David, I knew that I wanted to do something that involved paying some sort of public tribute to our medical professionals. And so I started looking for poetry about nurses and about nursing. And this one came up pretty quick in the Google search. She has a book of poetry that she published in 1917 called Songs of a Nurse. And it struck me that obviously this is 1917, so this is, World War I, and of course the last big pandemic that the world dealt with as well. And so I'm thinking, all right, so this is a nurse who's working under pandemic conditions, writing 100 years ago. It seems only right that I try and find a way of bringing her struggle into our time.
And so thus you in creating it as an anthem, how did you envision that? I mean, it packs a very powerful wallop, and it's just under 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I've always been attracted to the genre of anthems. I'm fascinated by anthems. I'm fascinated by what it means to musically embody some sort of place or shared idea, shared set of principles. Perhaps it's from this sort of being, from my graduate work at University of Michigan and kind of being around Mark Clegg a lot, who spends a lot of his time and is a wonderful scholar of the Star Spangled Banner. But whether it's a rock anthem or a national anthem or like some anthem of identity, We Shall Overcome, or the Lift Every Voice and Sing, or even Finlandia, or We Are the Champions, there's something about the notion of an anthem being a uniter of people that I wanted to kind of return to. Especially this was May, the ancient times of late May, when things were, we were really beginning to struggle with the beginning throes of the PPE shortages, the personal protective equipment shortages. And so, it was a really fractious time, as opposed to now, which is everything's fine, everything's normal.
Everything's fine again. Right.
But yeah, it was a time where we were really starting to struggle with to the nature and scope of this pandemic. And so anthems are songs that are meant to bring people together. And
Right. I was going to ask you, how do we know what an anthem is when we hear it?
Yeah.
What makes an anthem?
That's a great question. So an anthem is designed to bring people together, right? It's not designed to tear people apart, right? So you don't want an anthem to sort of, well, I don't want to get too on that, but let me say this. Anthems are initially designed to bring people together. They are flashpoints, they are inflection points, and they're points of reference for people who have a shared set of ideas, right? And so so that's, for me, what an anthem is, whether it's We Are the Champions, my friends, or Star Spangled Banner, or Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the anthem that I found myself playing over and over again after the 15th of May and the murder of George Floyd. It's these are anthems that also anthems are meant to bring some sense of solace and strength to the participants, right? They're community songs. However, this is like a pulp anthem. So the pulp anthem for me, this is one I kind of created, is an anthem that is just sort of written on pulp paper and is meant to be widely distributed, like the old pulp paperback books of the early 20th century. So I wanted something that was just, just kind of quick, and immediate. So when we talk about that wallop and the idea that this is a song that's, while it's designed to sound like an anthem, it's actually quite challenging to sing. I mean, the Lucys are incredible. They do a wonderful job with it, but it's a very challenging song. It's got a big range, and so the pulp anthem for me is meant to be kind of like that immediate and sort of pulpy, sort of like gritty nature to it. That's kind of what we're after here, to really try and bring home the struggle of our medical professionals.
It does achieve that. And I know you're going to be bringing people together in about a week when you start teaching out in Riverside, where you live, or near where you live, right? So
yeah, I'll be beginning my first year at the University of Redlands.
Redlands, right? I always, because I'm from Southern California, but I'm from the other valley, from the San Fernando Valley. But I know you're going to have I know your students are going to have a wonderful time, and they're so lucky to have you there. Thank you, Andre. Thanks for the piece, and thanks for being our friend and writing for us. And you stay well. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Stay well. It's good to talk with you, David. Take care.
You too. Bye, Andre. Thanks.